crowned with some rhyme to delight, next to our tree that shines so bright in the night. A Grinchmas treat is in store for you, with your Storytime host, Miss Cindy Lou Who.
Hello, my Who friends, the big and the small. I'm Cindy Lou Who, only 5 feet tall. Today, I'd like to read a story that's quite known to you, about a guy whose heart never quite grew. So come, sit close. I know we'll have fun. Do you know the name of the beetle one? I bet you do. This one's a cinch. He's mean, he's green, and we call him the Grinch, that's right. This is my favorite story I like to read to my class at school. It's called How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Suess. Every Who down in Who-ville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Who-ville, did not. Why, the Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be perhaps his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. For he knew all the Who's down in Who-ville beneath were busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and chuckled, what a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, and he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sled. Then he hitched up poor Max. Then the Grinch yelled, giddy up! And the sled started down toward the homes where the Who's lay to snooze in their town. He slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. He stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs too small for the other Who's noses. It was 1/4 dawn, all the Who's still in bed, all the Who's still a snooze while he packed up his sled. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-poohed the Who's, he was grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a moment or two, then all the Who's down in Who-ville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a sound, the Grinch said, I simply must hear. Then the Grinch paused, and he put his hand to his ear. Do you hear it? Well, the Grinch did hear a sound, rising over the snow. It started in low, and then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound glad. Every Who down in Who-ville, the big and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped for Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or another, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. Then he puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. And the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, needs a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, here in Who-ville we say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. Hooray! Then the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2. With a smile in his soul, he descended Mount Crumpet, cheerily blowing hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo on his trumpet. He rode into Who-ville and brought back the toys. He brought back the floof to the Who girls and boys. He brought everything back, all the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. Welcome Christmas, bring your cheer, cheer to all who's far and near. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to clasp. Christmas Day will always be, just as long as we have we. Welcome Christmas while we stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. And that's how the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Suess. The end. Thank you. Have a